Hey, I'm back here at Sidebar. I'm Heather Clancy, and I'm joined by Mike DiPetrillo. Wow, sorry, Mike, to totally butcher your name. He's the CRO and Head of Sustainability Platforms, DevvESG at DevvEO.
Yes.
And a little bit of a mouthful, but he's going to explain to me what the company does here in a moment. Broadly speaking, you're an enterprise blockchain technology company.
Yep.
One of my favorite topics. Tell us a little bit more about DevvEO and the sorts of problems you're solving with your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So DevvEO is traditionally a blockchain company that's been around for about 8 years now. DevvESG is the platform that I run, so it helps people look at the analysis, analyze where they are, both from a carbon footprint standpoint, from a financial risk standpoint, and from a social impact standpoint. You know, what kind of is your overall rating? Then it helps you walk through an improvement phase where you can either run projects that are guided through our platform, connected to one of our over 100 different partners that are in the platform. It also helps you look at credits. So we do carbon credits, methane credits, plastic credits, corks, SRECs, RECs inside of the platform. And then it helps you walk through kind of the reporting phase. For people that are here in the US, I say it's kind of like the TurboTax of the ESG world, where it helps you take a look at where you are, how to improve that tax, and then report on it at the end of the day. So that's a little bit about the platform.
So who's using it primarily? You know, this is one of the enterprise software is one of my longtime loves, believe it or not. And I always think about like the way that this can kind of extend access to a company. So what types of people are, you know, what types of roles and people are using your platform?
Yeah, people come into the platform for all different types of uses. You know, I'm a big enterprise software fan as well. I worked for a company called VMware for 18 years, so very familiar with enterprise software. We have everything from small, medium-sized business that come in and look for help just on the reporting side of the world. We do stuff with cities, with sovereign nations. So we have programs going on that we're running through sovereign nations in Africa, through North America, South America, to run their programs and collect all the data. We have a lot of people looking at using it for Scope 3, or using it actually for Scope 3, where they say, hey, I'm going to get all the vendors in the city, for example, to come get on the platform, and then all that data rolls up. So it adds trust, it adds transparency to the platform, because we can show you all the way from the source of the data all the way through. And then it drives out the complexity involved with that on collecting all that and using it.
So are these predominantly big companies, medium?
We have everything in between, right? So we have multi-billion-dollar companies. Again, we have sovereign nations driving it through the entire country. We have small and medium-sized businesses. There's really something in the platform for everybody, and it's designed just for that, to figure out, you know, where you are and how can we help you and how can we extend on that.
So a couple more questions for you, one of which is something on my mind, Scope 3, right? So everyone's trying to figure out how to gather information from their suppliers, their partners. How does your platform deal with that?
Yeah, so Scope 3, I just gave an example of that, where people will say, hey, we're going to get on the platform, and then we're going to invite all of our vendors that are out there, right? We talked with one of our companies, says, I've got 36,000 downstream suppliers. I got to contact and figure out who's there. They keep changing who's there. They report in all different formats if they report at all. Some of them want help actually driving those projects because they have no idea. You know, there's smaller vendors that are in our portfolio. So we engaged with them and said, all right, you know, invite all of them to the platform. The platform then guides them through, hey, where are you right now? How do I run projects to get there in the future? And then be able to report that. All of that comes up to you transparently and automatically. So it's a great time saver. You know, 95% of the companies that are out there, I think McKinsey said, do all this through spreadsheets today. And we just try to, you know, save them some time and some money and some help.
Yeah, really active space. So why is it important that your platform is a blockchain platform?
Yeah, so blockchain's good at one thing and one thing only, right? And I've been engaged with blockchain for about 10 years now. And that's putting everybody on the same plane of data, so everybody can see that same data at the same time and no one's manipulating it. Again, trust and transparency inside of the platform. So that's huge because it takes people from participating as nodes on the network to a value chain, right? Or a value web is what we call it, where everybody participates on the network. This is what drove like the Australian Securities Exchange transformation. It's what's driving the SWIFT transformation, both going to that same thing where they can take the nodes on their network and allow them to participate in that value. So we do the same thing for ESG.
Got it. So quick question on energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the kind of gripes against blockchain. How do you
100%.
handle that?
Yeah, you know, I've always said that energy guzzling blockchains are immoral, right? And so
You've always said.
we're the only blockchain that's out there that's done a full life cycle analysis. We're the world's only ISO compliant green blockchain. We use 3.5 billion times less energy per transaction than Bitcoin, for example, 12,000 times less energy than the nearest competitor that's out there. So we designed it from the ground up to be highly scalable, highly performant, and again, the world's only ISO compliant green blockchain, because you can't use it if you're trying to save the planet and kill the planet at the same time.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us here at Sidebar, Mike. Mike,
Yeah.
Dev Mike. And back to another ad block.